The cell door slammed shut with a metallic clang that echoed through the corridor. Nelson Mandela stood in the center of the tiny space, 8 feet by 7 feet, a thin mat on the floor, a bucket in the corner, a small barred window high on the wall, letting in a sliver of moonlight. He was 44 years old. He had just been sentenced to life imprisonment. The judge's words still rang in his ears. "You will spend the rest of your days here." Mandela sat on the mat. He looked at his hands. These hands had held books, written speeches, embraced his children. Now they would break rocks in a limestone quarry. That was to be his life. Breaking rocks, day after day, year after year, until he died. The enormity of it pressed down on him. 20 years, 30, 40. Would he ever see his children grow up? Would he ever hold his wife again? Would he ever breathe free air? For the first time since his arrest, doubt crept in. Not doubt about the cause. He believed in that with every fiber of his being. But doubt about himself. Could he endure this? Could he survive decades in this cage? He closed his eyes. He thought of his mother, who had taught him patience. "A tree does not grow in a day," she used to say. "It grows slowly, ring by ring, year by year, and one day it stands tall." He thought of his father, who had taught him about hope. "Even in the darkest night," his father said, "the sun is still there. It is just hidden, but it will rise again." Mandela opened his eyes. He looked at the small window. Through it, he could see a single star. "Patience," he whispered to himself. "Hope, that is all I need. Patience and hope." And with that, he lay down on the thin mat and closed his eyes. The first night of 27 years. The sun beat down mercilessly. The limestone quarry was a pit of white stone that reflected the heat like a mirror. Mandela swung the pickaxe, feeling the shock of impact vibrate through his arms. Swing, strike, hour after hour. His hands bled, his back ached, the dust filled his lungs, but he kept swinging. Around him, other prisoners worked in silence. Some were young, their anger still fresh. Others were old, their hope long since extinguished. But Mandela watched them all, and he saw something. During the lunch break, as they sat in the meager shade of the quarry wall, a young prisoner named Thabo approached him. "Madiba," he said, using the clan name as a sign of respect. "How do you do it?" "Do what?" Mandela asked. "Keep going, day after day. I've been here 6 months and I already feel like giving up. You've been here 5 years. How do you not go mad?" Mandela smiled gently. "I do go mad sometimes," he admitted. "But then I remember, this is not forever. Nothing is forever. Not the pain, not the suffering, not this prison. But we have life sentences," Thabo said. "We will die here." "Maybe," Mandela said, "but maybe not. The world is changing. Even now as we sit here, people outside are fighting for us. And one day, I don't know when, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 50, but one day, the door will open." 50 years? Thabo said. "I'll be dead by then." "Then live now," Mandela said. "Don't waste these years waiting for freedom. Use them, learn, grow. Become the person you want to be when that door opens. Because if you spend these years in bitterness and despair, even if the door opens, you will still be imprisoned. Freedom is not just physical, it is mental, it is spiritual." Thabo looked at him for a long moment. "You really believe we'll get out?" "I believe," Mandela said, "that hope is a choice. Every morning I wake up and I choose to hope, not because it's easy, not because I'm certain, but because without hope, I am already dead, and I refuse to die while I still draw breath. The whistle blew. Break was over. Back to the quarry, back to the rocks. But as Mandela swung his pickaxe, he felt lighter, because he had given Thabo a gift, the gift of hope. It was December. Christmas was approaching. In the outside world, families were gathering, gifts were being wrapped, carols were being sung. In the prison, it was just another day. Cold, gray, endless. But then, the guard called Mandela's name. Mandela, you have a letter. Mandela's heart leaped. A letter from the outside world. He took it with trembling hands. It was from Winnie, his wife. He opened it carefully, savoring every word. My dearest Nelson, it began. I think of you every day. The children ask about you constantly. Zinani drew you a picture. Zinzi wrote you a poem. They miss you terribly. I miss you terribly. But we are strong. We carry on. Because we know you are strong too. We know you have not given up. And as long as you don't give up, we won't either. We are waiting for you. However long it takes, we are waiting. Mandela read the letter 3 times. Then he folded it carefully and put it in his pocket, close to his heart. That night, in his cell, he took out a piece of paper. Writing materials were precious, rationed, but he had saved enough to write a reply. My beloved Winnie and children, he wrote, your letter is sunshine in my darkness. It gives me strength. I want you to know that I think of you constantly. I dream of the day when I can hold you again. But until that day comes, I want you to live. Don't put your lives on hold waiting for me. Live fully, love deeply, laugh often, because every moment you live fully is a moment of freedom, and that freedom sustains me. Patience, my loves, patience and hope. That is how we will win. He sent the letter, and for weeks afterward, he held on to the warmth it gave him. In the coldest nights, when despair threatened to overwhelm him, he would take out Winnie's letter and read it again. And he would remember. He was not alone. He had something to live for, something to hope for. Years passed. Mandela's hair began to gray. His body grew leaner, harder, but his mind remained sharp. He read voraciously, history, philosophy, literature. He debated with his fellow prisoners. He taught those who were illiterate to read and write. One day, the prison authorities granted a small privilege. Prisoners could tend a garden in the courtyard. Most prisoners ignored it. What was the point of planting seeds they might never see bloom? But Mandela seized the opportunity. He requested seeds, tomatoes, peppers, onions, and he began to plant. The other prisoners watched him with skepticism. Why bother? One asked. We might be transferred. We might be moved to another prison. You'll never eat those tomatoes. Mandela smiled as he pressed a seed into the soil. Maybe, he said, but maybe I will. And even if I don't, someone will. And there is value in that. Day after day, he tended the garden. He watered the seeds. He pulled the weeds. He watched for the first green shoots. And then, one morning, he saw it. A tiny sprout pushing through the soil. Life, growth, hope. He called Thabo over. Look, he said, pointing. Thabo looked at the small green shoot. It's just a plant, he said. No, Mandela said, it's a promise. I planted that seed 3 weeks ago. I didn't know if it would grow, but I had faith. I watered it. I cared for it. And now, look, life. This plant is proof that patience is rewarded, that hope is justified. Thabo knelt beside the plant. He touched it gently. "How long until it bears fruit?" "Months," Mandela said, "but it will, I have no doubt." And he was right. Months later, the plant bore small red tomatoes, and Mandela shared them with every prisoner in his block, not because the tomatoes were especially delicious, but because they were symbols, symbols of patience, symbols of hope, symbols that even in a prison, life could grow. The news came suddenly. Mandela's mother had died. Then, months later, his oldest son was killed in a car accident. The prison authorities informed him coldly. No emotion, just facts. And they denied his request to attend the funerals. Mandela returned to his cell. He sat on the mat. And for the first time in years, he wept. The pain was unbearable. His mother, who had raised him, who had taught him to be strong, was gone. His son, who he had hoped to see grow into a man, was gone. And he had not been there. He had not said goodbye. He had been locked in a cage, powerless. For days he could not eat, could not sleep. The grief consumed him, and with it came doubt. All those years of patience, all that hope, what had it accomplished? His family was suffering, his people were still oppressed, and he was rotting in a cell, breaking rocks. For what? Thabo, now a close friend, came to his cell. "Madiba," he said gently, "we're worried about you." Mandela looked at him with hollow eyes. "What's the point, Thabo? What's the point of all this?" Thabo sat beside him. "You once told me," he said, "that hope is a choice. You told me that even in the darkest night, the sun is still there. Do you remember?" Mandela nodded slowly. "Well," Thabo said, "this is your darkest night, and I'm here to remind you, the sun is still there. Your mother lived to see you fight for justice. Your son grew up knowing his father was a hero, and you are still here, still fighting, and as long as you are here, there is hope." Mandela closed his eyes. Tears streamed down his face. "I'm so tired, Thabo." "I know," Thabo said, "but you taught me that patience is not just waiting, it's enduring. It's getting up every day, even when you don't want to. It's believing in tomorrow, even when today is unbearable. You taught me that. Don't forget it now." Mandela took a deep breath, then another. Slowly, the darkness began to recede. Not gone, never gone. The pain would always be there, but he could carry it. He had to carry it. "Thank you," he whispered. "No," Thabo said. "Thank you for teaching me what hope means." "27 years, 9,855 days. Mandela kept count in his mind, every sunrise, every sunset. And then, one morning, the guard came to his cell. "Mandela, pack your things, you're being released." For a moment, Mandela thought he had misheard. Released? After 27 years? "What?" he said. "You're going home," the guard said. "President de Klerk has ordered your release, it's over." Mandela stood slowly. His legs shook. This moment, the moment he had dreamed of, hoped for, waited for, was finally here. And he felt numb, as if it couldn't be real. He gathered his few possessions, the letters from Winnie, a book, the small tomato plant, now in a pot, still bearing fruit. As he walked through the prison corridors for the last time, prisoners reached through the bars to touch him. "Thank you, Madiba," they said. "Don't forget us." "I won't," he promised, "and neither will the world." At the gate, he paused. He turned back to look at the prison that had been his home for nearly 3 decades, and he felt something unexpected. Gratitude, not for the suffering, not for the loss, but for the lessons. This prison had taught him patience. It had taught him hope. It had taught him that the human spirit cannot be broken, no matter how long the night. He stepped through the gate, into the sunlight, into freedom. The crowd roared, but Mandela stood still, breathing in the air, free air. Later, at a press conference, a reporter asked, "Mr. Mandela, how did you survive 27 years in prison without losing hope?" Mandela smiled. "I didn't survive by avoiding despair," he said. "I survived by choosing hope. Every single day I chose hope. Some days it was easy, most days it was hard, but I chose. And that choice, that daily deliberate choice, sustained me." "And what about patience?" another reporter asked. "Patience," Mandela said, "is the understanding that some things cannot be rushed. A tree grows slowly, a child learns slowly, and freedom, real freedom, comes slowly. But it comes. If you have patience, if you have hope, it always comes." That night, reunited with Winnie and his daughters, Mandela stood on the balcony of his home. He looked up at the stars, the same stars he had seen through his cell window all those years. "Thank you," he whispered to no one in particular, to the universe, to fate, to whatever had given him the strength to endure, because patience and hope had not just sustained him, they had freed him. Not when the prison door opened, but long before that, in his heart, in his spirit, and that freedom he knew could never be taken away.